Welcome back to MLG Prizefights presented by BIC Flex4 Razors. Guys, MKP right now is 3-0 over Oz, and we're going into this fourth, possibly the final game. So go ahead and tell all your friends that MKP is just destroying what everyone thinks is what everyone thinks is literally the best all-around Protoss in the world right now. And Marineking is just acting like it's some guy on the ladder. So here we go as we jump into Daybreak. Wolf, go ahead and introduce these players and let me know once again, what can Oz do? Is 3 games in a row he has not had an answer.
I will do just that. Of course, this player at the top right of the map, our Protoss. This is his last chance. If he doesn't take this game, the Marineking will sweep him 4-0 in this best of 7 sponsored by BIC. And of course, as I mentioned, his opponent is Marineking, the king of Marines, the king of TVP. Right now looking unstoppable in this matchup. I've said it so many times before, but it just needs to be said. It's something that everyone in the world knows right now about this guy. They do not want to play against him. He's been a player revered in Korea for a long time in all matchups, but right now in this particular matchup, everyone is so afraid of him. He has that one timing attack, the 2 medevacs, the floating factory, the +1, and just 2 Marauders in the mix usually in most cases. He does that so well, but he's shown other styles as well. He showed us a Hellion drop into transitioning into basically great compositions. He knows his timings for upgrades. He's very map aware. His micro is so unstoppable, and I don't know what Protosses are supposed to do against him. What could they be doing better? Maybe dropping a little bit better force fields. Like we saw Oz miss a few force fields in some of these games, reacting a little bit quicker. But otherwise, he's playing almost perfectly.
Yeah, kind of the Alpha 2 MKP's Omega has been parting historically. And parting style of play is for that very quick 2-base Templar Archives to go ahead and get Psystorm out. And I kind of feel like Marineking is going to force every Protoss that he plays against to do a style like that because it's the only way to force him past that timing attack of that 15 to 18 minute range. There's been no other Protoss, as far as I can think back, besides parting, that's really gone farther in those games. And even then, Marineking just continues to do the same biocontrol, and no Protoss has an answer. So if anyone's figured out, it's got to be parting, but even parting has a hard time.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, there's a few ways to circumvent this, and one of the ways is to just do an early attack. Will we see Oz do something like this here? Well, the answer is very likely no. He's gone for a very normal opening so far. He's chrono boosting his stalker out rather than chrono boosting out warp gate research. He's now used 2 chrono boosts on the gateway, so it's probably going to be a 1 gateway expand. His zealot is going to come over here and do some pressure to Marineking. Well, he needs to be microing that a little bit better.
Yeah, that is not looking good whatsoever here. But I mean, right now we see that second zealot coming out here for Oz, and right now there's that stalker you were just mentioning. So see how this attack goes. That bunker is about to finish, about halfway complete. The SCV sees the zealot and kind of distracted for a half second. That one Marine is going to be the only thing to combat that zealot. He needs to focus down the SCV, but instead goes for those 2 Marines.
Yeah, this is not an ideal position for Oz. I mean, his pressure has not been as successful as he wants to, but he can stick around. He's actually going to try to circumvent the bunker now.
Yeah,
Playing some SCVs.
So this is not looking good right now. This attack for Oz it's just really not working out whatsoever. As the 2 zealots are trying to get in on the bunker, and the stalker taking the brunt of the damage. That is definitely good, as it's going to be in the back, recharging its shield, as those 2 zealots will be in the front, doing the brunt of the damage. So all the SCVs were pulled here.
Yeah,
but
he's going to actually take these units out with the Marines. Nice pull out there by Marineking, even getting back in the bunker, trying to target down that stalker. The stalker will narrowly escape, but the zealot does not.
Yeah. So that attack, I mean, a valiant effort, but Marineking knew exactly when to pull those Marines out and stop them at the ramp, denied entry into the main. Had they have gotten up there, they might have been able to do some damage, but I think if he would have just pulled maybe 3 or 4 SCVs, they would have been cleaned up pretty easily.
Now, what we see here from Oz is a double expand. This is some parting stuff right here. This is what parting might do in this series, is to take a fast third base. And what parting would do next would be to add literally 7 or 8 more gateways, not only for defense, but for offense, where you can attack, use that powered up third nexus and all those gateways to just attack his opponent until, until he's too scared to really move out. And that's one way to put pressure on. We do see, though, Cloak being researched from Marineking. He made that starport during all that pressure, and Oz was not able to scout it, so he has no idea about this. However, luckily for him, he's got a robotics on the way.
Yeah, with that observer, Cloak will definitely be nullified. However, if he only makes one and sends it cross map, the Banshee still could do some damage. The other thing too is with this third base, that is a lot of area, a lot of map that Oz has to cover, and with that, I mean, the Banshee still could do some damage, so don't cut it out just yet.
Yeah, absolutely so. If the observer is rallied, is in a completely wrong spot, it's going to be basically could be devastating for Oz if he doesn't make a second one. The Banshee may scout the third base as well. Based on the path that it's set on, it probably will, and that's going to be really valuable information for Marineking, because as a result, he'll know exactly when he needs to hit a timing there. And since he's producing tanks, looks like he wants to hit with a 2-base Marine Banshee tank timing attack, which will allow him to, if he wants to, he could siege up at the third base. He may just go straight for the natural, though. It's anything goes for him. Something to note, though, is he is getting a third command center as he spots this third nexus.
Yeah, and the probes are basically just here to do whatever the Banshee really wants with them, as no units are anywhere near. I think Oz actually messed up as he pulled the 3 probes already there, but the probes that were transferring over were not pulled, and now he's only got 3 sentry and 1 stock to be able to deal with this. The observer coming out just in time. One of the actually one of the sentries falls. That is not good whatsoever, and now this third nexus is just going to be sitting here until he goes and deals with it.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for him to deal with this. Something to note as well here is that there's a second Banshee. Now, there are 2 observers out. Will he have them in the correct location? He does have 1 observer in his main base. The other one is trying to chase this Banshee. Okay, so he's putting his third mineral line. He should be able to defend against both of these Banshees, and it's going to force Marineking to turn around with that Banshee. He's not going to want to fight these stalkers. There he goes, turning it around right away as soon as he's spotted.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Banshee kind of did its work here, but now Marineking's got to start thinking, well, my opponent's up on 3 base. I really need to figure out exactly when I want to go and go for a big attack here. He's adding on 2 more racks, one of them with a tech lab already. Does he have any of those infantry upgrades? No, he does not. No combat shield or stim. Salvages the bunker, and it looks like now is going to be the time that he wants to move out here with that medevac, as, okay, maybe not. He was just kind of moving forward for a slight second.
Yeah, Marineking has been mixing these tanks into his style quite a bit. Normally, the magic number for Marineking seems to be 4. He likes to go with 4 siege tanks, then he switches the tech lab with something else, and starts other production for himself. But he's going to hit here before stim or combat shields or 1-1. It's kind of a weird timing for him to go out here, but he knows that he needs to go now because his opponent is getting those upgrades for his units. He knows that his opponent, since he's had 3 bases for so long, if he waits any longer, will have enough units to hold this most likely no matter what. So this is a timing he has to hit, despite the fact that he knows his opponent has, or rather, despite the fact that he knows if he waited just a little bit longer, he could have a few more upgrades. So it's a frustrating choice he's going to have to make, but he's going to make it nonetheless. He's repairing these Banshees now. They do have cloaks, so if he snipes the observer anyway, if he just gets away with that, then his opponent's not going to be able to spot for these Banshees.
Yeah, the observer moving in, not seeing anything over at the natural of MKP, but over here at the 30 sees this entire force moving in. Somewhat of a delayed 1-1-1 here for MKP off of 2 bays. Like you said, he doesn't have any of these upgrades. They're just about to hit. Stim is nowhere near complete. Combat shield of +1 for those Marines are the only thing, and the Nexus is starting to be focused down here as Oz is having a tough time deciding when exactly he wants to engage. He's trying to wait for charge. It looks like he can wait no longer as all the probes have to be pulled.
Yeah, he got the observers as well, JP, so his Banshee could be closed, but it looks like it may not matter as he's tearing through these units. The Immortal trying to close the distance on these siege tanks, but there are just so many units here. And I think this may be the end. I think Marineking is unstoppable in this matchup, JP.
Yeah. Nexus falls right now, 64 supply to 109. Marineking just now starting his 3rd base, already being mined from the 2 gas minerals soon to be mined from, but He can just follow this up with a pretty simple push here with a huge bio for us. His stem, combat shield, and concussive shell is very close to being finished, and he's going to be able to take out Oz here 4-0, winning himself $750.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with the play that we've seen from Marineking here, just showing a core style through all, but having a lot of different variations. So I think that I'm really pleased with Oz's play overall, but I feel like Marineking just knows this matchup better, and that's something that everybody would say about him right now, I think, but it's just evident time and time again. If I ever needed a reminder, here it is. Marineking just has to defend this next attack. There are several sentries in the mix here, but with siege tanks here, sentries are not going to be ideal.
Yeah, and I mean, that's all Marineking has to do right there is just pick up, walk away, and there's no way that Oz is going to be able to stay for any longer once those siege tanks get into place. Even with 1-1, Marineking probably doesn't even need those siege tanks in this army. This is Oz's last hope, really, as he's trying to get a third base, but with the only tech unit really being that immortal and so many sentries, those siege tanks can make quick work of them. I'm not sure, really, if this is even worth watching. Because it's just going to get destroyed here in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, you're right. It's looking terrible. The force fields actually block the zealots from fighting. Oz just, I mean, trying to do what he can, but force fields against Marines with siege tank support, it just looks disgusting. It's actually a little bit sad to watch, especially if you're an Oz fan out there, just watching him get dismantled like this. The factory does spot the remake of the third base by Oz, and it looks like Marineking's not going to waste any more time. He's going to move out and kill it.
Yeah, and I mean, sorry for being so like anticlimactic here, guys, but Marineking can basically do whatever he wants in this game. He's 50, 60 supply ahead, 120 to 177. Upgrade-wise, he's at 1-2, or excuse me, 2-2 now, which is even crazier. He started another command center over at his natural tech. For Oz, it's just been so far delayed after losing his third base like that. The only thing that he really has going for him right now is that he can delay for so long with those force fields, but even then, I mean, here comes the destructible debris. It's going to be taken out very quickly by Marineking, and Oz is basically about to die, guys. I'm sorry, but he's going to lose this fight.
He is. Stims come in here. Force fields aren't going to be very useful. He cuts the army quickly, but like I said, with siege tank support, even the Banshee's doing extra damage. There's no way Oz can win this fight, and I think this game's going to be over any second.
Yeah, and there is the good game, guys. Marineking taking our title fight 4-0. So let's just recap for a second the history that Marineking's done in the past couple of months. First place at MLG Winter Arena, 32 of the best players in the world, no problem, takes it out. First place at MLG Winter Championships, a huge amount of players, probably one of the best lineups that we've seen so far this year, takes first place, no problem. Takes out Oz in this show match. What is next for this guy? I mean, he's just destroying every single Protoss that he plays, and his other matchups are even incredible in themselves. So is this guy the next GSL winner? Is this guy the next MLG Spring winner? What is next for this player, Wolf?
You know, I don't know. I think something really to note about, you saw kind of like this graph of Marineking's results that went like this, and I think that was because he had this confidence issue where he would choke and get nervous sometimes, but he just doesn't have that problem anymore. And he's the guy everyone said at home, all the Koreans are talking about, when he plays in his house, when he plays in the team house, he sits back, he relaxes, and you cannot beat him. No one can touch him on the ladder. No one can touch him in an online tournament. But now it seems like he just looks like that in the booth, in the main stage, in big arena, and he just does not care.
Yeah, he is simply destroying everyone. And we're going to see how he does next weekend, guys, as the MLG Spring Arena #1 is going down. Marineking will be there. He will be joined by none other than DRG, Hart, Huck, Parting, Gonzi, Violet, and MC. The big name there that everyone wants to see right there at the top, Marineking going up against Parting. They will play in the opening of that, or not the opening of the tournament. They will play sometime throughout the course of the weekend, as it is going to be pool play. So that's the match that everyone wants to see right now, Wolf, and it's going to be going down at the spring arena #1. Who's going to take it?
Right now I have to say I think Marineking has the best chance, but there are so many different players in there that are going to be good to see. You know, Huck's one to look out for right now. So is MC, and even Violet could pull some surprising results.
Yeah, so that action kicks off on Friday, guys. Go check out more information and pricing details over at MLGPrizefights.com. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. This was the first prize fight presented by BIC Flex4 Razors. Huge shout out to BIC for putting that on. The next one will be going down on May 2nd, and you guys can actually go vote on whether it's going to be Mortal Kombat featuring CD Jr. or if it's going to be Soul Calibur 5 with the best players that the Soul Calibur community really has to offer. Go vote. You can go over to majorleaguegaming.com/prize fights that you see right there on the screen and let us know. So Wolf, thank you so much for casting with me. It's been a pleasure, man. We'll see you next time. I'm JP. See you guys next time as well. Make sure to tune in next weekend to the MLG Spring Arena. We'll see you guys then.